Hello, I'm here with Rachael Blackmore, who's a dating and relationships coach, and I thought it would be a good idea to kind of get some advice from her for anybody who would like who's either wants to improve their relationships or who's looking to do dating. So yeah, my first question for you is, how important is confidence for people who want to meet a partner?
Well, I think confidence in terms of how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem is very important, because if you don't value yourself, you're going to communicate that to people, and then they're not going to value you either. You basically get back what you put out there.
Yeah.
So confidence in terms of being an extrovert isn't necessary. You don't have to be confident in the terms of getting up and dancing on the table.
So you don't have to be flamboyant.
No, not that kind of confident. Just quietly confident is fine. So I always say to people that you need to really value yourself. You need to know your self-worth, and that is really important, because otherwise you don't get the kind of relationship.
No, because you end up meeting the wrong person if you don't have that self-worth.
And you don't get treated as you deserve to be treated. Basically.
So you could get used or disrespected and things like that. So you need to be strong in what you
in your values, and know what your boundaries are. So knowing that if you don't want to sleep with somebody the first day that you meet them, don't.
No.
If that's where your boundaries are, if you're clear about your boundaries.
They shouldn't be expecting that, should they?
No, they shouldn't. But
and
if you
tell you a lot about them, won't it? About how they want to push things.
Exactly.
If they want to push things too quickly.
Exactly. But if you don't value yourself, you might feel that you need to do that in order to keep them interested, and then it just gets into
it'll do the other way round, won't it? Because they will just literally think you were too easy to get.
And then it's a spiral, because then you feel that, and then your self-confidence plummets because you feel worthless, because they're treating you like you're worthless, and it just becomes a spiral.
And there's nothing wrong with having your guidelines of what you think is
and everyone's are different. If you feel confident and you want to sleep with somebody the first day you meet them, that's fine, as long as that's what your boundaries
then
are,
make
and
you feel bad after.
Exactly. It's and if you want to wait 6 months, that's up to you. As long as you're clear.
Well, the thing is, there is no rush, but there are a lot of people out there that are just window shopping, aren't there? And they're just trying to get some quick company. And so you've got to try and be discerning to find out.
And there does seem to be this thing now as well, where I've read in lots of places and on forums and so on that women think that they need to sleep with a man on the first date, because otherwise he will lose interest, and that seems to be the expectation on both sides now.
So someone's teaching people the wrong way.
Or society is just society is just becoming like that. It just feels like that's the expectation. Like with teenagers and sending nude photos to each other. I mean, that seems to be the expectation, that if a girl doesn't want to do it, she's called a prude. Or there's something wrong with her, and it's about reclaiming yourself and not doing what you expect, what you think society or the person that you're with is expecting from you.
And sharing with other people the fact that isn't the right way to do it.
Exactly.
And that's not what, just because other people are doing it, that doesn't mean you have to do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, I've got another question for you.
Okay.
Just coming right up. So how can people build confidence for dating?
Well, I think there's no quick fix, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. They want to be more confident, and they think that there must be some magic wand that they can wave and their confidence will suddenly. Exactly. I think there's a lot to be said for affirmations, for looking in the mirror and telling yourself that you are a wonderful person, that you are worthwhile, and actually nobody's perfect. There's no such thing as perfect.
No.
And we all go around comparing ourselves to other people. She's thinner than me, she's prettier than me, I wish I had her hair, but somebody else might be thinking that about you.
And you're going to have strengths. And also the person you meet isn't going to be perfect.
No.
So you're trying to find someone where you just click so well that you love the imperfections as well.
Exactly. And it's about loving those imperfections in yourself, and realising that you have got imperfections, but that's okay, and that there is the perfect somebody for everybody. Somebody is going to come along and think you are absolutely wonderful, but until you think you're wonderful,
then how can they see it?
Exactly. So you have to put that out there, and there's that idea, isn't there, that what you how do you say it?
What you attract.
Yes, exactly. You attract what you are. What you. Oh,
Yes.
I can't remember what
I know what you mean. And so
like attracts like.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the other one. My friend in Australia used to say, "Attention goes where energy flows."
Yes, exactly.
So if you're flowing positive energy, and all that business, yeah.
Yes, exactly. The laws of the universe, the laws of attraction.
And I was going to ask you as well, are there courses and things that people can go on to build their confidence?
I think there are. There's loads. And there's loads of books on Amazon as well.
Yeah.
There are so many books on Amazon about loving yourself and fostering self-love and self-esteem. And you can look at the reviews, and if it's got 500 5-star reviews, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be helpful.
Yeah. I mean, it's not wasting your time, is it?
No.
Because it's only going to benefit. So it's not a waste of your time to, give a few books a read. And even if you kind of gather a few points from each one that you take forward. I mean, a lot of the books I've read, I've probably only remembered 2 or 3 points. Yeah. But then when you put them all together, all the other points, and you can use them, can't you?
Yeah, and they're going to be the ones that resonate with you. So the books that you read, you'll take away 2 or 3 points because they're the ones that have really meant something to you and they've really helped you.
Yeah. So sometimes people will recommend a book. I always believe if someone recommends a book to me, then I'm kind of meant to have come across it. Okay. Do you believe in that sort of thing?
I do actually, because probably about a year and a half ago, I was going through a phase of feeling really crappy about myself, and like I was just not getting anywhere with my business, and I wasn't earning any money, and I was just getting really. And there's this lady, actually, her name's Judy Mansfield.
I've heard of Judy.
Yeah,
she's a wedding ceremony person.
Yeah. And she sent me a private message on Facebook and said, "I think you should read The Law of Attraction," and I'd never heard of it.
So she'd obviously seen something you were saying.
She'd seen something that I'd written online about feeling crappy. So she sent me this message about the law of attraction, and she was very, very kind. She's very kind.
She is kind.
And so I read it, and that actually did change my life, and I've recommended it to loads of different people now. And I love it.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Judy.
Well done, Judy. Yes, I've had similar situations where I was moving into a flat in London, and my long-term dream has to be get rid of clutter because I'm a hoarder, and it's still doing it. And my friend said to me, she came along and she just gave me this book, and it was called Clear Your Clutter with Feng Shui. Yeah. And that was one of the first books that started me on, the path.
Yeah.
I've probably said this in another video. But
never mind.
Yeah, I definitely have. So next question, if you don't mind.
There's another book actually called Your Badass Self or something like that. I've enjoyed reading that.
Is that good?
Yeah. About knowing your true worth and stuff.
Is that American or?
Probably. But it's quite good.
Yeah. And so, what got you interested in becoming a dating coach?
Well, I think there were two kind of avenues really that kind of led me here. I mean, I've always wanted to be a counsellor. Yeah. And I was a teacher for years and years, and I really didn't like being a teacher, I've got to be honest. In fact, I hated it.
Did you?
And I started training to be a counsellor while I was still teaching.
Yeah.
But I was finding the job more and more and more stressful. And it got to the point where actually I think I was having some sort of stress breakdown, I think. Because one of the common things that I didn't realise about that is that you believe that your relationship is breaking down. So it's as if your brain, the neurons in your brain stop firing, and so on, and parts of your brain shut down, and all that kind of thing. And you believe that your relationship is on the rocks, and I thought my husband didn't love me anymore, and I didn't love him anymore, and we shouldn't be together.
And this was because of you not being happy in your job?
Yeah. And I didn't realise it at the time. Yeah. And I'd said to him, I don't think we're happy anymore, and he was obviously very upset because he didn't agree. Although I was incredibly hard to live with, I should imagine. And then I was going for counselling because I was training to be a counsellor. But at the end of one of my sessions, my counsellor said to me, "But Rachel, what do you want right now? Don't worry about the future," because I was worrying about money, and if I leave teaching, how will I manage? And I can't pick the kids up from school, and I'll never earn this much money anywhere else. And that just changed everything for me. I thought, oh my God, I know what I want right now. I don't want to be a teacher anymore. And although I wasn't going to qualify as a counsellor for another 6 months, I just thought enough's enough, and I went in and I resigned. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I couldn't do it anymore.
So how long ago was this?
That was December 2015.
Okay, not very long ago.
No, not very long ago. And after that, I realised that I did want to be with my husband, and I couldn't understand why I thought I didn't want to be with my husband.
Yeah.
It was as if I'd come out of swimming underwater, as if suddenly I'd put my head up out of the water and I could breathe and see clearly, and I thought, oh my God, I can't believe I nearly ended my marriage over this.
That one thing.
Exactly. I wasn't stressed anymore, and although money wasn't what it had been, it was okay. I found other ways of making money. I found I was actually quite resourceful. And it made me think, oh my God, there might be other people out there who are going through this. There might be all these marriages out there that have ended because someone was stressed, rather than because actually there was something wrong with the relationship.
Yeah.
So it made me realise that, and it also made me realise that actually love is a verb. It's a doing. It's something that you have to do. It's something that you have to communicate to your partner.
And
it's
a choice.
Exactly. And you choose to be with that person, and we decided that we were going to go away for the weekend to London and go to the theatre and just go away in a log cabin, and just small things like that, just to rebuild everything. And so there was already this thing in me that was thinking, I need to tell other people about this. I need other people to realise that actually it might not be that there's anything wrong with their marriage.
No.
So that was kind of already lodged in my head. And then when I qualified as a counsellor, I absolutely love being a counsellor. I really have found my dream job.
I can tell because you've got a glow about you.
I
that you
absolutely
probably
love
didn't
it.
have when you were a teacher.
No, I definitely didn't. I was much more miserable and snappy. But then one day I was thinking, well, I love being a counsellor, but it felt like I wanted to also do something more. I wanted to continue to be a counsellor, but I wanted to do something more. And I thought about being a life coach, and that seemed a bit too broad.
So you wanted to go a bit more specific?
Yeah, so I watched on YouTube, I watched a video about life coaching and what it took to be a coach. And one of the videos I watched, the man on there said, I used to be a dating coach before I became a life coach. And I was suddenly I thought, oh, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I just realised that I just wanted to work with people on their relationships. So whether it's finding a relationship and there's some barriers that they have there in terms of not being able to actually invite love into their life and make a successful relationship happen, because it might be something that's going on in them.
It might be something that they
realise.
haven't realised, I was going to
Exactly.
say, and that you, when you talk to them as an outsider, can recognise it, and because you're not a friend or a family, so you're not going to, you're doing it from an honest position that they've actually come to you. You're not forcing your opinion upon them.
Exactly. So it's very much my counselling skills, but also a little bit more directive. So I just thought that's brilliant, because I am fascinated by people's relationships anyway, you know, and whenever I've had counselling clients that have come in with relationship issues, I don't work with couples because I like working with the individual and what's going on for them. And I find that I kind of light up when I'm talking to somebody about their relationship. That's kind of what sparks me. So I just thought, why don't I make a business of that? So I am still a counsellor, and I see people for general issues. But then I thought, if I do this dating and relationship coaching, I can then specialise in that. And you know, I've done so much reading, and I've been on various courses, and you know, I'm working to being an expert.
Well, you sound like one already. It must be so fulfilling when you actually do help people to improve their relationships. You know,
it is.
And you can see the results because they're coming to say to you, "Oh, we're much happier." And
and I've already had that. You know, just within counselling, I had one man who came to me, and I won't obviously divulge too much.
Say his name.
No. But he came to me, and he'd recently ended a relationship with somebody, and he'd originally come to me, he was heartbroken. And it transpired, after working with him for about a year or so, it transpired that he had this very good female friend. And I said to him, it seems like maybe, you know, is she not the one? And he was very reluctant to kind of go there, because he didn't want to jeopardise anything.
No.
But suffice to say, they are engaged now.
That's a wonderful story.
No, it's really exciting. When he came in, I was like, oh!
And you had to point that out to him.
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously the realisation was at the back of his mind, but he wasn't willing to voice that, or to even go there.
But he had to be brave. And that's what love is often about, is
Yeah.
being brave,
Yeah.
isn't it?